Good morning, everybody. I hope all is well for you guys on this beautiful Sunday morning. Thank you, everybody, for being here. Good morning, OG Patrice. Thank you so much for being here and taking some time out of your Sunday morning to be here with me. So glad to have you here, guys. And I hope that your Sunday mornings, guys, are doing fantastic. For those of you who haven't, please participate in the poll. I do want to know sincerely if you guys want me to continue reviewing horror movies, if you want me to move on to something else, etc. So please let me know what you guys think. So we're going to get into it in a moment. As you guys know, I'm going to play my intro video in a few moments, and then we're going to get into me talking about the movie. So there will be spoilers. So if you guys have not seen the movie and want to see it, please go see the movie first and then come back to this video. But if you don't mind spoilers, do stick around and spend some time with me. And as usual, I'll try to keep the video to about 20-30 minutes. Nothing more than that, really, or not much more than that. So again, guys, I hope you guys enjoy this review and stay a little bit of time with me. All right, guys, so we're going to go ahead and into this video. I do want to change the background as well, but before we're going to play my intro video. So welcome back, guys. So as you can see, I did take the second to drink a little bit of my tea and also change my background. So yeah, so today we're going to be talking about the horror movie Pray the Devil, which came out recently. It came out on October 28th, 2022, and was produced by Lionsgate, which is a big production company for horror movies. So if you see a Lionsgate logo, chances are it's a horror movie. Excuse me. So this was one of their many, many horror movies. So we're going to do a quick summary of the movie. And after that, I'm going to give you guys my personal opinion on the movie. So in this movie, we follow a particular Catholic church. We see the Diocese of Boston in particular, where you see Sister Anne wanting to become not just a nun like every other nun, but she wants to actually practice exorcism, okay? Which in the Catholic Church, basically only men are allowed to do this, and there's a whole ritual of prayers and rites, etc., that the priest must follow in order to do an exorcism. So she's a bit rebellious and wants to be one of the few women allowed to perform exorcisms by the Catholic Church. Father Quinn, who runs the exorcism training in the Boston diocese. Sorry, I always have trouble with that word. He's kind of wanting her to do so, seeing that she seems to be different from most people. And throughout the movie, you see Sister Anne going to a psychiatrist or psychologist. It's unclear what the training of this particular professional is, if she's a psychiatrist or psychologist. But you see her going to this particular person and basically confessing that since she's a kid, she's been seeing things about her mother. Of course, we have to get some nice little. No, we don't want you being bombarded by nice little thing. Okay, so we're going to hide this particular person and report. Sorry, guys, I'm taking a moment to deal with some spam here. So just give me a second, guys, and we're going to continue in a moment. It's always fun dealing with these types of comments. There we go. There we go. Haven't had that in a while. There we go. So we dealt with that. Sorry about that, guys. Spam unfortunately happens way too many times, but it does happen. So, anyways, as I was saying before the spam was going, so you see that Sister Anne does have some issues. So her mother seemed to have been possessed as well as she was growing up, and was trying to protect, trying to fight the demon possession from within, but it did not succeed. The mother did pass away. Sorry, I'm just getting get my breakfast out. And she did pass away. So, of course, all this experience was very traumatizing for Sister Anne, and she did go into a nunnery, especially after she unfortunately became pregnant at the age of 15 and had to give up the daughter. So now you're in her adult life where she is a nun, or at least trying to become a nun, and like I said, trying to become one of the few female exorcists in the Catholic Church. So you see her training and all that, and you see her in particular helping this young girl who will become critical for many different reasons throughout the movie. But then at one point, you see Sister Anne going into the room of a male patient, and she's cleaning him, bathing him in an obviously Catholic way, because again, this is supposed to represent the Catholic Church. So obviously, you have a female a nun dealing with a male patient. So there's obviously not going to be any kind of nudity and that kind of stuff, right? But you see that the male patient becomes possessed and is like, "Oh, your mother has a beautiful voice," and then proceeds to attack her. And that's when it's confirmed to the cardinal for the U.S. Basically, because as you guys know, each country that Catholic Church has, there's a cardinal for that country, etc. That he then they all intervene and agree that okay, she needs to at least learn how to do an exorcism at the very minimum for her own protection. This causes a certain amount of joy for Sister Anne, but also a certain amount of problems because then one of the other priests in training for exorcism confesses to Sister Anne, "Oh my God, my sister, his actual sister, okay, is I think possessed by a demon and caused a lot of grief for her, and caused a lot of problems." Now, Sister Anne theorizes that for a certain amount of exorcisms, some of the possessed allow the demon to come in because of their guilt, because of their past trauma. They want to be tortured. They want to go through a certain amount of hell on earth because they don't feel worthy. So, in order to properly exercise the person, you have to connect with that victim and remind them that no, you are worthy of God's love, regardless of what you've been through, regardless of what sin you might have committed in your life. You are already forgiven, and you already have a path to heaven. You just have to be recognizing that. You just have to continue and be the good Catholic person that you already are, right? You already are a good Catholic person, so you don't have to, torture yourself for that. That's not what God wants of you, right? So they think that they go into the sister's room, they think they're victorious and exercise the the demon. They leave very happily. The following day, they find out that no, the sister ended up committed self deletion, and of course, everybody's grieving about that, traumatized about that. And Sister Anne says, "You know what? Forget this whole exorcism thing. I'm just gonna go back to this abbey and just, forgive me. This is not the life for me." But then the same priest who sought her out comes and connects to her again and says, "Look, the the young girl that she was trying to help and connect that also is possessed by the demon, she too was, oh great, the demon was exorcised, she seems to have recovered, great, fantastic. She was sent home, but then she came back to the church because she had been seemingly repossessed or had regressed back to the quote unquote terminal case, right? So, terminal case is when chances are we're not able to save the victim and the victim passes away. And in process, she also uh, canceled three other individuals. Excuse me. So, of course, this is very traumatic for everybody, and they know that they have to isolate this person, this child. That's when the child, as the she was open an ambulance and connected with the priest, she gave the priest a particular um, cross, right? And when the priest went to Anne, he gave her the cross, and she's like, "No, that's sorry, not the cross, a rosary. Forgive me, I'm forgetting some of my theological studies." So the priest gave her Sister Anne the rosary, and it's like, she showed this is clearly a message here. So Sister Anne explained that, look, when I was 15, I had a child, and I gave that child that specific rosary. So that's when, for Sister Anne, she realizes that, oh, this child isn't just a random child. This is the daughter that I gave up for adoption when I was 15 years old. So I have to intervene, right? So that's basically the end of the movie. She goes and intervenes, saves the child, right, from this demon possession. The last few moments, you see Sister Anne in a taxi, and you see somebody at on the sidewalk clearly being possessed, and so is the taxi driver, and they ambush her, right? So that's the end of the movie, leaving us with a possible entry into a second movie, a Pray the Devil 2, right? So I know there's a lot of things that I skipped here in my general summary of the movie. I don't want to spoil too much for you guys either. I do want you guys to go and watch the movie for yourselves. Okay? Sorry, I just had to have a little sip of my tea. So, what do I think of the movie? I think overall it was a pretty decent horror movie. There were some of the typical jump scares that you would expect, especially like I said, that last scene in the movie. You It was a definite jump scare, so do expect some of your typical jump scares that you will expect in any horror movie staple, right? There is going to be that kind of stuff. I also do like the fact that there's not too much overt special effects in the movie. There are some, especially the young girl you see when the priests try to exorcise her. Her hair literally goes into her throat, choking her, right? So that's obviously a special effect, right? So there is some special effects, but it's not the domineering force in the movie, right? Where you see quote unquote some special effects is more with the sound effects, right? So the you hear whispering, you hear them say Sister Anne, and it's quote unquote voices that she's hearing, right? And you get the impression that these are uh voices outside of her. So it's not her talking to herself, right? You sense that there's something else there going on, right? And that's the other thing that I like about this movie is that by the end of the movie you understand that one of the voices that you're hearing is most likely her mother trying to connect with her. um so you get enough information where you can put two and two together, but not so much that you by the end of the movie you're like, we know the whole story, we know what like, because they explain as well that the demon that's possessing this the child is a demon that also possessed her mother, that possessed several other individuals, and it's called the voice, right? So you get the sense that there's something more here, there's something else going on, but you might not know all the details, right? You don't know who this demon is and what it's about, what it wants. out of Anne, etc. So, and that's what I really like about a good horror movie, right? It gives you just enough details where you can answer some of the questions, you can follow along, but not so much that everything is predictable about the movie. You know, once you figure out that Anne gave up a child, you soon figure out, oh, okay, the little girl in the movie is her daughter, right? So it's not a big, huge reveal at the end of the movie that when she says, "Oh, this kid is probably my daughter," right? It's really, there's, and like I said, there's enough where, okay, you can answer some questions, but others you can't. Like, you don't really know who the demon, quote unquote, the voice is, right? You don't know who it is. You don't know if it's Lucifer, if it's some other demon like Pazuzu or something. You really don't know. So it can be anything and everything. So they kind of want you to go and watch, obviously, Pray the Devil 2 if and when it gets made, right? So they're intentionally leaving out a certain amount of the information. Now, the acting was pretty decent. Especially the woman who played Sister Anne. When you see her terrified, you really get the sense that she is terrified. Some of the male actors could have done a slightly better job, but overall, it was a pretty decent movie. The actor that played the father in the movie, you can see that his acting was pretty good. He's a well-known actor. I forgot his name, but you've seen him in several other movies, and he does portray this person that's like, yeah, I know that there are rules to be followed, but I know sometimes it's better to bend the rules a little bit and to change things up, and that we need to not necessarily follow the rules 100% of the time. We do need to have a certain amount of exceptions, and he sees that with Sister Anne, that there's a good reason to make an exception with her, right? So that's, again, something else I really liked about the movie. And also the other thing that I liked is that the movie wasn't too long or too short, right? Because that's the problem a lot with in a lot of horror movies, is that sometimes some of these horror movies you feel like it drags on needlessly, and it just goes all over and over and over again over the same 3 points, right? You're not, the movie being a 90 minutes or being 2 hours or being 2 hours and a half, you're not gaining anything more by that extra 30 minutes or hour or whatever, right? They're just reviewing the same 3, 4, 5 points over and over again. You're not learning anything new with that extra time. With this movie, it was just the right amount of time where, yes, you're learning a little bit more, a little bit more, a little bit more, but you're not needlessly repeating the same things over and over again. Yes, there's certain things that need to be repeated, but it's not going over and over again. And you're not like, okay, this movie could have been 90 minutes and we would have came to the same conclusion. We would have had the same amount of information, same type of information, right? So that's the other thing that I really liked about this movie. That was really concise, get to the point. We're all here to see the demon possession, right? We all know what the movie's about, so we don't need to make it something else than what it isn't, right? So it got to the point, gave us what we wanted, gave us what we came for, and moved on, right? So that's what I really liked about this movie. Now, where I guess maybe where I could, the one criticism I have, and maybe it's just me, I guess that I've been so conditioned with Marvel movies where there's always a connection to some other movie, right? Thor's connected to Iron Man, Iron Man's connected to, oh, here we go again with the, sorry guys, I have to deal with blocking a person here. Uh, we're all out today with, of course, there we go, read a report as well. There we go. Sorry, guys. So as I was saying, I guess I got so accustomed with Marvel movies and DC movies where everything is connected to each other that I was kind of expecting this to be connected to maybe a movie like Constantine, right? Where he also is dealing with demon exorcisms and things like that, right? So I was kind of half expecting that and didn't see it. But I guess this character isn't part of the quote unquote DC world, because if you guys don't know, um, the character is Constantine, I mean, is a DC character, right? So It's kind of hard to see movies now, and they're just like this independent thing, or they're within their own world, right? You do have movies that are connected to each other, but not necessarily to an outside world, right? So I was kind of half expecting that with this movie, but so I was semi disappointed that no, this movie is really just in its own world and it's self-contained. Maybe in the second movie it might branch into Constantine or another demon exorcism movie. Maybe, I don't know. There's also Omen, that's about the devil and possession and things like that. So who knows? There's always room for it to be connected to other horror movies out there. So, anyways, guys, that's about it for my review for this movie. I'm going to end the poll now and see what you guys said about me continuing. So, I had two people vote. One person said yes, they want me to continue. Another person said no, they don't. So, I guess I'll do it one more time and see what the reviews are, but I'll probably also put on my community tab another poll there and see what you guys think. So, anyways, that was my review for the movie Pray the Devil, and I hope you guys enjoyed this review and my commentary about it. So, have a great Sunday, guys. Hello, hello, Samantha's Lifestyle. I'm just about to end the video today, so you missed it, but it's okay. I'm glad that you're here. Better late than never. So I'm glad that you did come and see, come to see my video, but I am ending it, unfortunately, Samantha. But I hope you have a great Sunday morning, Samantha, and I hope everything is well for you. So this is the end for me this morning. So if, like Samantha, you came in at the last minute, that's absolutely fine, guys. It happens. But please go back onto the replay. It's a short video, me reviewing the movie Pray the Devil. Yes, Samantha, it is a horror movie review. So if you like that kind of video, please go ahead and watch it in the replay. If you don't, it's okay. Don't worry about it. You don't have to watch all of my content. Don't worry, Samantha. I'm glad that you came and thought of me and saw that I was live and came to see me. That's what counts. Like I said, better late than never. So, in any event, Samantha, I hope you have a great Sunday morning. Well, it is Sunday morning here where I live, but whatever the case might be for you, I hope today is a fantastic day. And yes, please do watch it on the replay. And that goes the same for anybody that's missed this live. You're more than welcome to watch the video on replay and tell me your thoughts in the comments. I'm more than welcome to hear suggestions of other movies to watch. And let me know if you want me to continue watching horror movies and reviewing them for you guys or not. So I hope to see you guys soon enough. And I hope that you guys have a great Sunday morning or afternoon or whatever the case might be for you in your timeline. I know that some of you come from different countries where you might be ahead or behind me as far as time is concerned. So thank you, Samantha, for being here. Thank you, OG Patrice, for being here as well. So I hope you guys have a great weekend and a great day. Merci beaucoup. Thank you guys for being here. Bye bye. Au revoir.